Meet Dobby the dog, a charming Chihuahua Dachshund mix with giant ears, just like the Dobby from Harry Potter. These ears made him extra special. Dobby was undeniably cute, sporting short little legs and a long body. When he walked, he skipped, and it was very funny to watch. Dobby had a quirky habit of booping things with his nose. He booped his toys, his food bowl, and even his human's nose. Yes, Dobby was a very silly dog. He had his own unique way of sitting too. Sometimes like a frog, sometimes like a chicken, and it was just so silly. Dobby's favorite treat? Chicken. He loved chicken treats, chicken-flavored kibble, and even real chicken. And let's not forget about his beloved T-Rex toy, which he carried everywhere, slept with, and even tried to eat his food with. Dobby lived in a cozy little house in the desert of eastern Washington. The landscape was flat and dry, scattered with lots of tumbleweeds. Dobby loved to chase these tumbleweeds, booping them with his nose once they stopped. He lived here with his human, a kind lady who adored him deeply. She took him on walks through the desert, fed him his favorite chicken, and even let him sleep in her bed. Every day they would explore the desert together, observing the tumbleweeds, the cacti, and occasionally spotting lizards. Dobby loved his desert home and his human very much. One day, as Dobby and his human were walking to their favorite spot in the desert, a campground with picnic tables and a water pump, they stumbled upon a sad sight. There were dogs tied up to the picnic tables, all alone. Dobby's human spoke with the park ranger to find out why these dogs were left here. The ranger explained that the dogs had been abandoned by their humans. Hearing this made Dobby's human very upset, and she knew she had to do something to help these poor dogs. Dobby's human knew just what to do. She ran back to her house and Dobby ran with her. He wondered what she was doing. When they got home, she went inside and Dobby waited outside, very curious about what was happening. Soon, Dobby's human came back outside with something in her hands. It was a green cape. She put it on Dobby and it was a perfect fit. Then she pulled out a harness that matched the cape perfectly and put that on Dobby too. Dobby wagged his tail, feeling very special. Dobby's human then said, "Dobby, it's time for you to be a hero." Dobby barked, showing he was ready. She gave him his mission to save the abandoned dogs. Dobby knew just what to do. He grabbed his nunchucks and his brass knuckles, ready to fight for justice. Dobby and his human raced back to the campground, ready to save the day. The sun was setting, casting a golden hue over the trees, and the air was filled with the sounds of nature. Dobby's heart pounded with a mix of excitement and determination. He knew that something important awaited them at the campground. But when they arrived at the picnic tables, Dobby saw the abandoned dogs. They were huddled together, looking lost and frightened. The sight tugged at Dobby's heartstrings. He could sense their fear and confusion, and he knew he had to do something to help them. They were scared and sad. Their eyes were wide with fear, and their tails were tucked between their legs. Some of them were whimpering softly, while others just stared blankly into the distance. It was clear that they had been through a lot, and they needed someone to show them that they were safe now. Dobby didn't want to scare them more. He approached them slowly, his body language calm and non-threatening. He knew that sudden movements or loud noises could make things worse. He wanted to show them that he was a friend, not a threat. He knew just what to do. Dobby had always been a gentle soul, and he had a special way with other animals. He had a knack for making them feel at ease, and he was determined to use that gift to help these abandoned dogs. He put down his nunchucks, took off his brass knuckles. He didn't need to fight. He just needed to be kind. Dobby understood that true strength came from compassion and understanding. He wanted to show the abandoned dogs that they didn't have to be afraid anymore. Dobby walked up to each dog, booped them with his nose, wagged his tail, letting them know it was okay. His gentle gestures and friendly demeanor started to have an effect. Slowly but surely, the abandoned dogs began to relax. They started to trust him, and some even wagged their tails in response. Dobby's human used her phone to call the animal shelter and told them about the abandoned dogs. She explained the situation in detail, making sure that the shelter understood the urgency of the situation. She knew that these dogs needed help, and she was determined to get it for them. The animal shelter said they would send someone to pick up the dogs. They assured Dobby's human that they would be there as soon as possible. It was a relief to know that help was on the way, but there was still work to be done. Dobby and his human waited with the dogs until the animal shelter arrived. They stayed close, offering comfort and reassurance. Dobby continued to interact with the dogs, making sure they felt safe and loved. His human kept an eye out for the shelter's arrival, ready to assist in any way she could. Dobby was a hero that day. His actions had made a real difference in the lives of those abandoned dogs. He had shown them kindness and compassion when they needed it most, and that made all the difference. He didn't need to fight, he just needed to be kind. Dobby's gentle approach had proven to be the most effective way to help the abandoned dogs. It was a powerful reminder that sometimes the greatest acts of heroism come from the simplest acts of kindness. And that's what makes him a true superhero. Dobby's story is a testament to the power of compassion and the impact that one kind soul can have on the world. He may not have superpowers, but his heart is his greatest strength, and that makes him a true hero in every sense of the word.